On to news just coming in from Moscow. The Russian Foreign Minister has said Ukraine had tried to attack President Putin's residence in the Novgorod region. That's the big piece of breaking news coming in. In fact, the Russian Foreign Minister warns that now Moscow's negotiating position would change. Lavrov has said that on December 28 to 29, Ukraine had attacked the Russian president's state residence in the Novgorod region with 91 long-range drones. Lavrov was quoted as saying such reckless actions will not go unanswered. Now, it was not immediately clear if Putin was in the residence at that time. In fact, the president of Ukraine said the accusation was a lie, adding that Moscow was preparing the ground to strike government buildings in Kiev. Meanwhile, Putin's palace in Novgorod region, remember, is his state residence. It's around 400 kilometers from the capital, Moscow. And Ukraine has been launching regular drone strikes deep inside Russian territory. We've been telling you about this. All right, so that's the big breaking news coming in from Russia, where that statement indicates what Russia's position as of now is. We just told you what the negotiating terms and the diplomatic efforts, where they stand at this point. And now with this development, it remains to be seen where things go from here. But definitely a serious statement coming in from Russia. All right, so let's just tell you first exactly about the statement that's coming in from Russia. In the statement, in fact, the Russian Foreign Minister has said that Ukraine had tried to attack President Putin's residence in the Novgorod region. That's the latest coming in. And the Russian Foreign Minister also warning that now Moscow's negotiating position would change. So that's a very significant development coming at a very sensitive time, just hours after we have seen what the meeting between the President of the United States and the President of Ukraine looked like. We just told you where things stood after that, and now the statement coming in from Russia. In fact, Lavrov goes on to say and specify that on December 28 to 29, Ukraine had attacked the Russian president's state residence with 91 long-range drones. So there are specific details in that statement coming in from the Russian minister. Not just that, Lavrov was quoted as saying such reckless actions will not go unanswered. So that's the larger message coming in from Russia, clearly that they will not take this lightly. That's the word coming in, and also adding, in fact, let's tell you more about that statement. But as of now, not immediately clear if the Russian president was at his residence at the time. But there are specific details in that statement given out by Lavrov. In fact, even mentioning the number of drones used. So according to him, 91 of those drones were used. In fact, there is more as part of that statement coming in from the Russian minister. Let's just tell you more about what he has said. If you're just joining us, that's the big breaking news coming in with Russia's statement on what they say was an attack on the Russian president's residence. That's the claim coming in from Russia, a big one. In fact, Lavrov has said all drones that attacked the Russian presidential residence in the Novgorod region were destroyed by the Russian air defense systems. So that's more detailing in his statement. But at the same time, warning retaliation. The Russian minister has said that such actions will not go unanswered. In fact, the words used to describe the move, according to him, these are reckless actions that will not go unanswered. So that's the extent to which that statement goes. Also adding that targets for retaliatory strikes and the timing of their execution by the Russian armed forces had already been determined. So that statement is comprehensive, as you can see, and the larger message coming in from Russia is absolutely clear as well. Lavrov further saying that the alleged incident would impact Moscow's stance in any future negotiations with Kiev. So that definitely is a shift in the way the diplomatic efforts have gone so far. So that's the word coming in from Russia. It remains to be seen where things go from here, but that is a big statement coming in from Russia. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.